After a relaxing day at sea, we're on our way to what we hope will be a day in history. We simply jumped on a local bus for the 30-minute trip to the Minoan Palace of Knossos. We were greeted by restaurants, cafes, and tourist shops. On a beautiful day, warm and sunny, it was indeed a pleasure, though I failed to convince Alex that he didn't need a jacket. One of the most visited historical sites of Greece, second only to the Parthenon. But to put things into perspective, the Parthenon was built in the 5th century BC, and the Palace of Knossos was built about 1500 years before that. Knossos was the center of Europe's first advanced civilization, the Minoan, that dates as far back as 2700 BC. The ruins of the palace here have revealed some astonishing insights into what happened here 3,500 years ago that brought about its destruction and a sudden end to the Minoan culture. It's been a mystery for centuries, but now some theories unfold that may provide an explanation for it all. It all began in 1900, when Arthur Evans, a renowned archaeologist, came here with a team and began systematic excavations, hoping to find solutions to these age-old mysteries. After all, early Cretan history is filled with ancient legends of King Minos and Theseus and the Minotaur, passed on by poets and writers such as Homer. Why are some parts of the palace completely destroyed and others relatively untouched? A common theory is that the Mycenaeans invaded, but apparently there are problems with this, as the Minoans were completely destroyed and not replaced by another culture. Although there is some evidence that the Mycenaeans inhabited the actual palace, as some Linear B script was discovered, Linear B being their language. The oldest evidence of the language in Greece itself comes from the Minoans of Crete. The Minoan script, called Linear A, is the oldest written language in Europe and is still largely undeciphered. As a result, many offer a different theory, that the great volcanic eruption of Thera, Santorini, may have caused a cataclysmic tsunami that destroyed Knossos and brought about the swift destruction of the Minoan civilization. Plato wrote about an advanced civilization called Atlantis, which was destroyed when the Santorini volcano erupted. Plato's thoughts have been followed by other writers who also suggest the Minoan Knossos was in fact the inspiration for Plato's Atlantis, and it was wiped out when the volcano at Santorini erupted. The huge tsunami that followed this mammoth cataclysm, only 50 miles to the south, hit the coast of Minoan Crete at a mind-boggling height and magnitude, destroying everything in its path and wiping out most of the population. Could Knossos have been the inspiration for the ancient city of Atlantis? Not at the bottom of the sea after the flood, but destroyed in minutes by a flood that quickly receded. Plato may then have added some fiction, and that mixed with facts may have confused historians over the centuries. Maybe. But probably the Mycenaeans were the cause of its demise. The Minoan civilization was certainly advanced. Intricate frescoes were found here, depicting Minoan life and religion, and many pithoi, large jars, were found here that may have contained oil and wine, or wheat, beans and peas. This is the main storage area of the palace. Homer described it like this. There's a land called Crete in the middle of the sea that looks like wine. It's beautiful and fertile, surrounded by the waves, and the people who live there are so many that you can't count them. They have 90 cities. Different people speak different languages, all mixed together. Homer, the Odyssey, 8th century BC. I keep stopping to consider that what I'm looking at is perhaps the oldest city in Europe. Stones unmoved for thousands of years. Having said all this, I'm enjoying the place as a tourist, not as a historian, though surely the experience is enhanced by the history. The Minoan civilization, forerunner of all the civilizations of Europe, was born here. Alex is also having fun. These stones certainly hold many secrets. Ancient avenues where great processions would have taken place, uncovered and restored. It was indeed a walk through ancient history. As we left, Alex wanted a souvenir. After that, the intrepid tourists decided on refreshment. Freshly squeezed oranges and the elixir of the gods.
It's time for a coffee and the fresh lemon juice for Alex.
So we sat and enjoyed the time. In a few minutes, we shall jump back on the bus and ride back into Heraklion to explore the town.